One man, one desire, one hit point. Can he do it? Lurking back through garage now. Waiting for his opportunity. He's crouching. He's not crouching. He's dead. All right, it's time. It's time for the grand final. G2 and Prodigy, game number 1. We're going to Haven.
Again, a slow push here for the pistol round. Down to 35 seconds left on the clock and no real pressure onto a site. As I say that, Pat's going to walk through the Sky Smoke and he's going to find Hip. He's going to find Turco as well. That's 2 fantastic kills from him. He's going to find the 3rd. Rhyme will fall. Spike is down. Pat, you are... Oh my God, he's disgusting. That is a fantastic start. Mixwell going to steal the ace.
And the rotate can come through as David opens up the fragging onto Lucka, and he only has a Bulldog to work with as well. He's done particularly well in this situation as Mixwell just taking a very defensive angle as Artist takes down Bora, but wow, Hip. That's a shot to remember. Hip and Rhyme will march onto C site. Now the spike can go down. It's a 3 versus 3 Hypoc.
Sky Smoke going to cover off David P over towards C-Link. And now Ardis just wary of the flank. But all 3 players stacked up on site. Prodigy here needs to hold the line. Hunter's Fury going to get popped here. And I think he's actually got a tag on the back site. Yet he missed it. But Rhyme will find Pat in the meantime. And that's now put G2 in a 2v3 situation. And again, I think... Oh, no, they're not going to pull out. Hip's actually going to find Ardis. And now David P... probably going to try and retreat, but he does catch a headshot through the wall. Puts him down to 22 HP. He might catch Rhyme at the front of B site. There you go.
As David P is going to be the first point of defense if they opt to push into garage through double doors here. How much do you trust David P in this engagement? So many times he wins these fights, he gets the first. Does he get greedy for no? He doesn't. Instead, he slows. Much more smart play coming out from David, which gives G2 the player advantage with only 40 seconds remaining for Prodigy needing to push to a site here.
Yeah, there's going to be B. And that... this is difficult now because all 3 stacked up, no mid control right now. They're actually going to push through and try and take control of A-Link. And Ardis, meanwhile, has something to say on the matter. David will find Pora elsewhere, and that just leaves Rhyme. The star so far for Prodigy. Let's see what he can do in a 1v4 situation post-plant.
The Judge gets traded out for a Vandal. Recon Bolt gets fired and yeah. Unfortunately for Rhyme, the gig is up.
All 4 of them have been channeled in towards B site. Bladestorm is popped and Lucka will force his way all the way into top of B site. Spike will go down. It is planted for window. This time they opt to send 2 out and take some mid control, but Shock Dart will put some damage onto Lucka. Now G2 going to have to reset. Mixwell will pop a Bladestorm of his own. Lucka will find Pith with the operator. Actually, Mixwell's going to come in. Rhyme going to find the headshot from behind. Ardis will respond onto that orbital strike going in now. And actually, Lucka going to come around, find Pat, but David there for the trade. And here you see, the Molotov is set up from the mid control. This is going to eat a lot of time here.
And he's got the orbital strike as well. So there's surely no way they've got time to even win this round. Question is, does he have to use it? Well, now he's going to have to. Not even going to be able to get it halfway. No time for Ardis, even the fact he got the 3K. So perfectly played by Turco. Again, just demonstrating how strong Brimstone could be in a post-plant position. They need someone to be stepping up and forcing G2 out of their comfort zone if they are going to have a chance in this final. And considering the fact they only got 7 rounds last time on Haven, they've already been able to achieve 5, so arguably a better start to this particular game.
Oh no. Oh no, the Judge absolutely deadly from there. Bith will find 2. He's got the spy cam as well. He's got the information. The incendiary comes out, going to force him out the corner, but he finds Turco as well. Lucka hiding behind sight. He's going to find Mixwell with the operator, but Bith with a 4. This is fantastic work from him. Neural Theft's going to get popped. He's looking for the ace. Oh!
It's not quite there. It would have almost been a beautiful thing, but now it's a 1 versus 1. For all of Pith's hard work, the round still might not go in favor of G2. Phantom in the hat of Rhyme. Ardis did have the op. Does he still continue with it? No, he's been able to pick up a rifle of his own. There is the res. Now, do you use it as bait or do you face with it? He used it as bait. Ardis takes down Hip. He gets an unnecessary death. The shock darts come out, and then he gets the spray. Rhyme makes it 3. really too distracted by the whole, oh, G2 are going to be aggressive and they're going to push us, because we haven't seen the same aggression from G2.
We haven't, no. They're on the back foot right now. I think that's fair to say. Cybercade's going to get popped inside. Lucka finds that one through the cage. Ardis will respond, but Hip will find Ardis in return. That was a fantastic shot from Lucka there. Now you can see Spike will go down. Pat is ready and waiting. He's actually going to deny the plant, and David P will find Hip elsewhere. And now, look how quickly G2 turned that round.
Pretty terrifying. Wow, David P, big shots.
Oh,
Mixwell also finds the second. Perfect start for G2 to make this 6-6, to be honest. Even though Prodigy have been able to win some rounds 4 versus 5, but 3 versus 5 is a little bit of a stretch, especially when you've got the ultimates available for G2. You've got the Hunter's Fury for Ardis, or at least it was there. Still got a res available for David P if they want to use it. Pith is going to have vision onto this site, pushes round, gets the spray down onto Turco, and now is he going to look for Pora? Yes, he is, and that's going to be the round. 6-6 then. It's G2. What do they have to offer on their attacking half? That's going to be the question now. How are they executing? Their post plants are phenomenal. And they've been able to pretty successfully get onto A here, but Lucka will at least take down Pith. But he's only down to 22 HP, so he tries to escape. We'll use a Cloud Burst just to try and survive for now. The plant does go down. And Lucka has done enough to get away and at least be a nuisance here to G2, because they know he's there, so they can't afford to turn away from it. So instead, they push it. Pat gets aggressive and takes down Lucka. Now just the 3 remaining players of Prodigy have to try and burst onto the site pretty much all the same time if they want a real chance. They look for one. It is going to be Ardis, who's close on the left, and now Pora and Turco. They work so well, the 2 Turkish players. Can they find anything in hell? There's going to be the little tap here. And
the incendiary.
Slow, and there's an Insin, and this is going to be difficult for them to push onto the site. And there's the damage. I mean, that's the real question. I mean, there's so many players who could be calling, and that's the worry for me. I don't think it would be Pora or Turco. Maybe Lucka?
I think the chat will tell us. It's all good.
I'm sure some people have better information than I do, as Rhyme unfortunately can't take down Ardis. And Ardis with the Phantom in hand is going to be able to push on and dominate this C site. Rez comes through onto Mixwell. It always seems like Mixwell is the one picked up, and I think that's because Mixwell is so quick to burst onto his site. He does throw his life on the line for this team, which is good to see. That's kind of what separates a top player from one of the best players, is knowing when it's right to put your body on the line.
Looks like we're going to see rotation from G2 coming over towards Abe, and you can already see 2 members of Prodigy have stacked up over there. Lucka already in there. There's going to be a tag from the spy cam. Lucka's actually going to find a headshot. The Mixwell's going to find a second headshot and a third on the pit. That's fantastic work on the eco round.
I think even G2 were probably taken aback at that point. Pora again gets the opening.
Oh my god.
Mixwell at least is there as damage control. Pora has been a bit... Oh my... Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, yes. More.
Forget the game. Give me more of that action.
Give me some camera tours in chat.
Mixwell will get the spike down, and it's a 3 versus 3. Lucka does have his ult as well if he would want to use it, and plenty of cloud bursts, as well as a dash, so he could be a real nuisance here to G2. Rhyme coming from behind.
Mixwell's not going to be expecting this.
We'll catch 1, we'll catch 2. Rhyme with the spray down.
Dude.
Time and time again. He gets the res just for good measure. Ardis has been able to take down Turco, but he's going to be completely weak. Default B execute is going to come through. But the bomb is a little bit far away. Here comes the spike trickling down middle now. So the plant at least can happen, albeit a little bit late. Although I say that, the plant denied by the orbital strike, and here comes Lucka and Turco to ruin the day of G2. And it's going to be looking like a 12-7 unless David P can step up as he gets the opener onto Hip. He's going to push out to mid, but he can't get past Rhyme, who again just gets the nice spray down with the Phantom. And it's all down to Mixwell with the yacht, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard Turco. Not able to have a man advantage. Orbital Strike is going to come out onto C site, but Turco, Hip, and Lucka deny any sort of push from G2. And it's all down to Pat now. He's going to have to go absolutely huge if G2 are going to have any chance of even coming back in this game. But in a 1 versus 4, it's not going to happen.
Wow.
Prodigy take the game 13-7.
Well, it's game number 2. We're on Ascent. G2 is attacking. We're in the grand final. Let's kick this off.
See, I want to see the G2 who just don't give an F about where they're pushing, who they're pushing against. They were just so explosive in the tournament earlier today, but they kind of were a little bit lackluster on Haven, whereas Ascent offers maybe a little bit more of an attacking feel for them, but they're pushing straight into Pora's trap, but he was only able to find one, so not as successful as he would have hoped. Mixwell and Pat will get opening frags for themselves. Turco takes down a flying Mixwell into the
really
bubble.
aggressive.
Very aggressive. And that's what we want to see, really, isn't it? We want to see G2 under that same aggression that has been so successful for them. Pith down here in hell. We'll try and help out Ardis. Manages to just be enough of a distraction where Ardis picks up a 3k. Fair enough to G2. They get the opener here.
He's saying, you're taking the piss now, mate. You're not going to be able to abuse us from that corner again. Cage does get popped, and actually they're all going to run past him. Forget about him. Pora's going to find David P, the last one in the line. But Mixwell will get the entry onto site. Ryan will fall in heaven. But they still have to deal with this flank.
Pith has done well there, not only to get the frag from behind, but also it was the spike. Doesn't have to reload, but it means that Pora wasn't able to connect with those shots. Excuse me, it was Pora who was on the flank, not Pith. Now G2 have managed to get the spike down. Pat takes down Lucka. And it's just going to be the single remaining player on the side of Prodigy. He's going to be walking towards Garden here, and at least Hip has done a little bit of damage. Takes down Mixwell, but Ardis there so fast in response.
Who called them to lose? Not me.
There's quite a few predictions just online. A lot of coaches and a lot of Valorant community members had said that Fabricant were going to take down G2. Rhyme gets one on to Pat. And Rhyme stepping up at the right time.
Ardis.
Yeah, with its 8th frag, but unfortunately, that is going to be the end of that. Lucka gets a double with the op. Turco taking down David P at the same time. And Prodigy look like they're going to get their first round on the board. And now he can wall both of them over here. And Turco is going to have to do quite a lot at this angle, but he will catch one.
Turco,
check it. And that could be so detrimental to him now because they know exactly where he is. Turco does finish off the kill onto Pith, though.
All right.
He does have orbital strike to work with, but David B gets his 3rd of the round. Ardis cleans up Lucka. And with the spike down, and Prodigy down to just 1 member. That's G2 going 5-1 up. Means that they can make the decision as to whether they fancy this push. Shock dart into logs is going to do so much damage as the Rainer's going to have to be forced out. Hip down to such a small amount of HP with the judge in hand. Hunter's Fury comes out.
Huge.
Did he tag one?
Oh, I think he missed.
I don't think he's going to tag multiple. Hip will get the first and allows himself to overheal, so that's going to be a big frag for him with the judge.
Pora.
Makes this push very much a difficult one.
Look at
Pora from
all
behind.
the way behind him.
Could be huge here. Gets 1, gets 2. Doesn't get the spray down to 3 as Pith and Pat will trade out and still make it a 2 versus 2. But maybe the damage is done. Pat TP's onto the site just to get a better angle here. Dark cover comes out so they can push even more successfully and even deeper onto this site.
I love this from Pat right now. He's going to catch Lucka completely off guard there. That's fantastic use of the Shrouded Step. Now, Prodigy find themselves in a 1v2 situation. Everything on the boy Turco. And Pat's actually still hungry for it here. Pith not moving in just yet. Cybercage will go up, blocking his line of sights. The orbital strike is ready, and actually it's going to go down. The spike will get planted, but Pith will lose his life for it. And there you go. Pat is ready for the peak, and that will be his 4th on the round. And that is it's a hell of a hole to dig yourself out of. Ardis is actually going to find Lucka. He's going to clear the cubby as well. David there to follow up with a headshot. That is a fantastic entry onto B site from G2. Now you see Mixwell looking for another. He's going to find Turco in the spawn. This is an absolute clinic from G2.
I love the Hunter's Fury usage there. I mean, of course, he already got the tag, so he was guaranteed the kill. But with the 3rd shot, clearing out that corner.
Yes, huge.
Because even if he doesn't connect with anything, at least he gets the vision, right? He can check and he can say to the team whether someone's there or not. You don't see Hunter's Fury used like that enough. And I think we're only kind of scratching the surface here of what's possible with some of these agents. And day by day, people are finding out new things to do, new ways to push onto sites. And G2 putting on a real show here on Ascent. The res does come through, though. So Prodigy now have the player advantage. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 on the site, but Mixwell says, I don't give a crap. He manages to find one. Pops his ult, looks for their second. It's going to be his third. Make it 4 if he connects. He doesn't quite. Needs a little bit of help from his teammate. But he can't survive. And Rhyme clutches up.
Lucka. He move in space with minimum waste and maximum joy. I'm hoping you get that reference. We'll see now that push come through. Pat and Mixwell will find one on the way in. And there you go. Poor actually, he's going to struggle to put David down. And that could be very influential in the outcome of this round.
That's unlucky right there.
G2 have the spike planted, and even though Lucka has the op, he has to reposition here. You can tell Mixwell ops a lot as well, because he's looking in the angles where he knows he would be opping from, instead of just checking bottom mid like so many teams would. Instead, he's looking for those positions where you wall up, and just out of nowhere, Mixwell has traversed the map from top mid right up to short to get a 2K.
All right.
And he is just playing matchmaking at this point. Updraft comes through. He does see the player on generator, or does he? No, he doesn't. That's unfortunate. Didn't quite see the barrel as Turco makes a 2K of his own and keeps Prodigy potentially into this. As I say, that Pat gets sprayed down through the wall. David P will get one on to hit, and it's all going to be down to the last remaining player of Turco to try and salvage something of this half, but can't really see it happening. It's more than likely going to be a 10-2, which it is. Moving swiftly on, Prodigy have managed to work their way into a garage here, but David P is going to be the first point of defense. Finds David P makes it 4.
Let's go, David!
This man is an absolute beast when he's got a pistol in his hand, any weapon in his hand. He's going to get aggressive. He wants that ace.
Yeah!
Yes! G2 on a tear, and this is an absolute walloping. Well, I think that Ascent is one of the biggest maps that can really separate a practice team from a non-practice team. I think that's what we're seeing here. Prodigy, as they are a little bit more of a puggy squad, they're just trying to go for default executes, default pushes, whereas G2 are just more clinical. Their executes were sublime, their post plants were impressive too. And now on the defensive side, well, they haven't had to do much, to be honest. A pistol round win and a force-up victory for them means that they find themselves with an advantage, but okay, Rhyme. I see you trying to make something of this game. Hardest though. If he can get this frag. Oh, okay. All right, then. I said chalk it up, but maybe there's some little bit of life left in this game just yet. Artist only has the Bulldog to work with. I mean, it's not going to be much life of the game.
It's like a death rattle.
Yeah.
Well, just to hop into this point, of a total 48 rounds played on Ascent for G2.
Oh, yeah.
As Prodigy have already lost 1 member. Make that 2 and a 3rd, as Pat says. Yeah, let's get this one over and done with, lads. I want to move on. I want to get to bed. You two have been hanging around waiting for this match for a few hours now. Rhyme jumping straight into a couple of bullets, and actually he's done well to take down Mixwell, but Pith cleans up. As now it's all down to Lucka in a 1 versus 3 to keep this game alive and keep this game a-rolling. But he's spotted out. 13-4 then to G2. And that was pure domination. G2 played against Fabricant on this map. They won 13-2, and it was just another massacre. But the saving grace at least,
my God.
I was going to say, is the fact that they're defending first here and G2 are going to be attacking, but Mixwell just diving in the face with the shorty there. Again, just showing no respect and no remorse and just so much speed with the jet right now.
Yeah. And now look at the situation on the minimap. We've got Ardis going to tuck himself into a corner, get himself nice and comfy.
What is this Suede business? Who is Suede?
It's just an observer bug at the moment.
He's a pistol round legend.
You also might have noticed you've seen all the phantoms, which they don't know.
I know that, but I'm wondering who is Suede? Why that name? Is that one of the observers?
Surely a Riot employee.
It's got to be a Riot employee.
Right.
Answers in chat. who is Swade? With the real...
Swim Swady.
I was going to go for it.
The
Thank
real
you
Slim
for-
Swady.
Thank you for following up.
Well, here's Mixwell with the short. He goes straight through the smoke, and wham bam, thank you, ma'am, into Rhyme's face. Pora gets one onto Mixwell, though, so he can respond and make it a 3 versus 3. David P going to be here waiting in heaven, though. Prime position to take down Hip. And Hip is going to have no idea. Was caught with a Leer out. But David P, interestingly, trying to hop down. He didn't really need to. Had vantage point, but there is going to be a grenade for Ardis. And
The
this could
nade
be a
is perfect.
massive nade. That's going to be one. Pith cleans up. And G2, it might have taken them a little while in that round, but they have got the opener.
Nobody holding this right now, so Pora might get the fight of his life if he comes in to beat this. But actually, the other way around, Pora is going to find the headshot. Maybe got some information on the spy cam, but he didn't. I just saw where it was. Elsewhere, you're going to see Ardis find Hip up in B heaven after putting Piff down. And Ardis will find a second Ryan peeking out of ropes. And B site looking like it might be the target here. Spike making its way down towards Garage. But Pat definitely approaching cautiously.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mixwell was even able to get into that position with the op, completely honest, but Pora doing completely well as Ardis has managed to find his third of the round. Lucka takes down Pat as Ardis tries to make it 4 with the showstopper, but David P will clean up Lucka being forced out from the showstopper, and it's a 2 versus 1. Ardis has to go and retrieve the bomb. G2 in prime position now. David P just going to be watching this defender side spawn, takes down Turco, and it's going to be 3-0 and money sent right back down for Prodigy. And just look at the lack of respect he has over there on the A site, and they have to back off. They can't even challenging him on ramp here. Mixwell does not give a damn. And he doesn't get the frag, but I mean, it allows the rest of the team to be able to push up middle. Pat takes down Lucka. Hip's got so much information here, though. Gets the spray down, and he uses the dismiss to get away. A big 2 frags, and can overheal with the next orb, but Ardis at least with a bit of damage control. It's just going to be the 2 players from G2 trying to rescue this round. Surely this is going to be the first for Prodigy, Hypoc.
I mean, it should be in the bag here, but Pith and Ardis maybe still something to say about it. Ardis very, very low HP. He sends some blast packs into the defensive spawn in alley. Turco going to find Pith on site now. Now, there you go.
He's going to be smoked off at the moment. Does have the showstopper to work with, and Pith is going to get that right between the eyes, but Mixwell puts one right between something else of Rhymes. And the res can come through as G2 regain the player advantage here, Hypoc.
I just realized there's little dragon wing things on the actual scope when you're in the scope.
Oh, yeah.
And Pora actually going to find Mixwell up in heaven here. Neural Theft going to get popped, and that's going to give the information. You can see David P on the X-ray scurrying away through sewers. And there you go. Actually, Pat going to TP all the way over to B site, and Lucka still lurking behind the default box. Ardis got to take this one very slow. But Lucka's going to play his life. He's going to get all the way out. Pith going to find Hip, and Turco going to respond. Ardis will now find Turco, and that puts Prodigy in a 1v2 situation. Lucka creeping his way back over, but David P's going to spot it, and he does not miss those.
Those 2 members are going to be on ramp yet again. At least the smoke comes through this time to try and do a bit of damage. But Mixwell says, "Screw your smoke. I don't even give a damn." Hip and Turco, maybe they've done the hold successfully. 3K for Turco. David P has been able to walk onto site, which means he is going to have the jump on them here. Or is he?
Hip read it like a book. And I don't know what the answer is here. Pora actually going to push all the way up. Deny that ultimate from Mixwell. Pith will find Pora in response, and Turco down to 10 HP. He's going to have to back up a little bit towards ramp. Lucka now comes with the operator. Nothing going to be found outside of dark cover, and Ardis will find Hip. Turco poised now with the orbital strike, and it's going to go down on site to stop the plant initially, and that's going to force Pat all the way into corner, but no peek from Lucka there. But David P found himself in the same position again. He finds one, he finds a second. That is huge from the Battle Sage. 4 members of G2 staring down Garage.
Yeah, as soon as he heard that boombot, he was completely out of dodge. The nade will come through to do a little bit of damage, but Mixwell is already on site with the Judgy boy. Can't unfortunately connect with it. Instead, Lucka is going to be there to get the frag with the op. And there is a little bit of a defense here on the B side, but Artis with an incredible nade, but Rhyme follows up. Artis denies him getting anything more as the Leah comes out to try and encourage the boys out of heaven.
Pora. Where are you going? You're sneaking through garage, and this could be... Actually, G2 playing complete opposite sides to this. Pat's already wrapping through alley, and he's all the way into defensive spawn. Artis going to shut down the flank from Pora. Pith will find Hip. And there you go. Turco comes out, finds a Spectre kill, but he's still got to worry about Pat all the way back in alley, who's on site now. Turco, 1v2 situation. Not a lot of time left. He goes for the wallbang on the box, and that's just going to give the information over to Artis, who peeks over and finds a headshot. And he will receive himself a little heal. Pora in the spy cam of his own. Let's see where they go with this one. Pat's TP going to be cancelled.
Pat's TP was literally just used to gain information as to where the players are going to be on A site. Lucka has taken out Mixwell. Hip is now going to be coming from behind with a judge, but maybe damage already done as Pora and Lucka have fallen elsewhere. Rhyme will get the frag onto David P, though. So at least they're not too far behind, but it walks straight into the bullets of Artis.
He's disgusting.
Artis has been on fire, not just this game, but this entire tournament, as Pith cleans up the round. It was a little bit sloppy, but that's going to be 10-2 for G2 after their attacking half. That thing is damn strong. Well, that is going to be a very heavy push here towards the A site, and Hip is going to get the opener. Pora and Rhyme are maybe going to make you count your blushes, Hypoc, as Pora gets the fourth, and we're not going to see the pistol victory unless Pith pulls out a 1 versus 5 with the Classic. And whilst I'm not going to say it's impossible, I don't think it's probable. Hip gets yet another frag, and Prodigy put one on the board. Play at this level for that amount of time, especially with periodic breaks too.
Look at the rush.
It is so rough, but Artis will find one.
Him.
It's not going to be a double. David P can follow up. He's got so much info here. If only there was a nade from Artis available. Can't connect with the second, but he will whip out the Classic for a third as Pat cleans up the fourth. And that just leaves one lonely old player still in mailroom. And Pat just about diving away.
One man, one desire, one hit point. Can he do it? Lurking back through garage now. Waiting for his opportunity. He's crouching. He's not crouching. He's dead.
The advantage. Spray down comes out, and Turco will get one onto David, and now G2 down to just 3. Whilst Artis has had such a good game so far, does he have the manpower to push out of heaven? Pora takes down Pat. And now it's down to Artis and Pith. Well, Artis will at least start things well onto the opposition side for Pora. Pith has been able to clean out this side, so now they can both push comfortably from ramp if they would like to, but it looks like it's going to be the save for them here, Hypoc.
That's tough, because he's all the way over in A heaven, and that's going to give the information. Artis has already rejoined his teammate, and Mixwell's back at screens. Took a little peek, didn't see anything, but the A push is still on. Rhyme is going to find Pat now, and there you go. Mixwell with a rare miss outside the dark cover, but the second one lands. Artis will find 2 with the showstopper. Now 1 member left, and guess who it is? It's our boy Pora the Lurker. David P, all the way back at
He's getting maybe
heaven.
an angle.
Yeah, I mean, he could get this, and then it's going to put it a 1v2 situation. There you go, a freebie. Neural Theft popped. He's going to get the information on the remaining 2 players. And there you go. Now he's got the spy cam. He's been planning this from the start.
What?
Is he going to be able to pull this off, Dan?
Well, manages to grab the spike. He pushed onto site whilst the dart was in Mixwell's backside.
They're calling sight. They know he's there.
Well, they certainly know the plant is happening. But he went for the fake because he heard the steps, and now he's only got 8 seconds, so they just have to wait this one out before he connects with Mixwell. He doesn't connect with the second as well. The 3K clutch from Pora. First point of defense here, and there are 4 members in his dark cover. But unfortunately, he gets caught firing another dark cover out of his hands, which is going to allow Turco and the rest of the guys to push up ramp. Mixwell gets sprayed through the wall, and Prodigy on a little bit of a tear now, really generating momentum. And with the spike going down, that is going to be the call for a save from G2. But the rest of the team of G2, they don't really have the weapons to work with, but maybe they can do some damage here with a couple of shotguns here or there. Ardis again is going to push out and get aggressive. Does get one. Can he find a second? No, he can't. Rhyme takes down Pith with the blast packs, and there is the TP available for Pat to try and catch them off guard to gain a little bit of info.
Oh, love this.
Does have a Bucky to work with. Right click twice onto him. And maybe G2 can salvage something from this round after all. It's going to be a 2 versus 3 though, and maybe a reposition from Prodigy. Mixwell with a judge find one, gets himself a Vandal. And now it's going to be a 2 versus 2 as Mixwell just gets out of dodge. He wants to reposition. He wants to be as unpredictable as possible, and quite rightly so.
Mail room to be, yep.
Pat can just watch heaven here. Turco has orbital strike. Has sent it towards A. And that has baited out Pat as well. The perfect bait. Hook, line, and sinker. And it all comes down to Mixwell in a 1 versus 2.
This is potentially huge here. This could turn the tide in either direction for either team. One man, one desire, one vandal, 2 enemies, 11 rounds.
Oh, we spotted the head. And there you go. Mixwell going to find Turco.
On 1. The ultimate. Oh.
Oh, he connects with it as well. Mixwell goes huge. David P has moved on into ropes and somewhat watching middle here. But that sewer rotate is now heading back towards A. Hip in such a good position, and I don't think Pat has any idea he's there. As soon as Hip swings, he should be guaranteed a kill here. He just needs help from his team. Is he going to get spotted out, though? He is, as Ardis. That's a huge frag now, as G2 take the player advantage. And Prodigy starting to run out of time. Mixwell makes things even more difficult. Ardis onto Turco, and maybe this is the beginning of the end now. Rhyme is going to drop down. Bora at least will find one, but Pat is there. 17 seconds remaining. Rhyme needs to hurry things up if he wants to keep Prodigy in this game. David P, though, ruins the day. 13-8, and G2 will be the champions of the Vitality European Open.
Incredible effort, man. Really incredible effort from G2.